Hello, this is Michal and welcome to Unreal5Master Introduction to Procedural Content Generation. In this tutorial I would like to show you how to define areas where to generate content or not by using subgraphs. So let's start and open Unreal 5 engine. As you can see here, we can define areas where content is generated. Some areas define where rocks are generated, and others, for example, where forest is generated. As you can also notice, generation is avoiding to generate content around splines and landscape splines. So first thing you need to do to use PCG is to go to plugins and check whether procedural content generation plugin is enabled. If not, just enable it. Okay, now I'm going to delete the content of my level or some content of my level so you would see how to get similar results. Now we create PCG folder and 3 subfolders inside of it: blueprints, subgraphs, and subgraphs. Okay, let's start with blueprint folder. We create new blueprint class of an actor type here, BP PCG filter area. This blueprint we will use to define areas where we want to generate content. So let's open it and add a spline component. Let's name it closed spline, and to make it really closed, you need to check closed loop checkbox. In addition to that, we need to add an actor tag, and I decided to use PCG filter area tag. Then compile and save. Let's create another blueprint class of the same type, actor, and name it BP PCG filter path. This blueprint will be used to define paths where we want to avoid generating content. So let's add spline, let's name it path spline, and add an actor tag as before. This time I decided to use PCG filter path tag. Compile, save. Now just drag it to your level and create a few spline points. Please create at least 4 of them. We can also define where we don't want to generate content by dragging our path. So something like that. Now we go to subgraphs and create our first PCG graph. Let's name it BP or PCG filter area subgraph, of course. It's a subgraph, so we won't use it on their own, but only as a part of some graph. Let's make a space here and get spline data. First, we want to get spline data of our areas, so we use all word actors filter, and we would like to filter them by tag. We would use our tag from our area blueprint. And also you need to select multiple, so we are able to select or define multiple areas. Now we filter it again by tag or by subtag. This time we would like to get this tag as an input to the subgraph, so we will use custom pins to define our subtag. So let's name it filter area subtag. You need to use attribute set type and disable or uncheck allow multiple data. Now we just need to use it by dragging it like this. Okay, now we sample the spline. You need to sample it on interior because we want interior of the spline and make it unbounded. So this unbounded checkbox allows us to get or to be independent of PCG volume. So next we get spline data again for our roads. Again, we use all world actors and we want to filter them by tag. So let's get the tag from our path blueprint and put it here. Also select multiple. Now we just sample it. This time we want on spline dimension and to use mode distance. Again, it must be unbounded. And now we define bounds of our sampled splines. These values should be fine. 30 and 150. Okay. Now we have it. We just commented that it's a flow for our paths. Last one is to get spline data again and get data for our landscape. This time we won't use by tag but by class selection and select landscape class. It doesn't matter whether you select multiple because usually you have only one landscape. We again sampled splines and add bounds modifier. Okay, again by distance, and in this case I would like to use distance increment of 50. Okay, so let's add bounds modifier, and this time we use different values, 0.5 and 150. So let's comment it, landscape, and now we are ready to make a difference. So we use another operation. Difference. You put area data and as a differences use our path and landscape splines. So we need to make it binary. Now we just need to add other two pins because we want to return our data on output of this subgraph. So define area points data of type point and also area points mask of the same type point. So align it a little bit and put it something like that. You don't have to be so precise as I am. Okay, this seems fine. Okay, so we finished our subgraph and now I will show you how to use it. So we create test graph in graphs folder, again PCG graph, and this time PCG test graph. Okay, to use subgraph is very easy. You just need to drag it from folder structure or to use or to use context menu. Okay, and we need to provide a filter area subtag, and we use add attribute to do it. So here we need to change the type and name the value. It's a subtag, but I like to use as a prefix tag of our blueprint class for defining areas. So I copied it and use it here. So now we defined that every area which will use this subtag will be relevant for this graph. Now we just need to visualize our results. So I use projection to do it. So I project them on our landscape. You need to use, or you can use debug for visualizing it. So check it. Now we can see the results, but nothing happened. It's because we haven't added our PCG graph to our level. It doesn't matter its volume because everything is unbounded, and also we need to define for our area subtag. So we take our, or use our test subtag. Now we can refresh debugging. Okay, now we can see the results. As you can see, it's avoiding generating points around the spline. And also we can add attribute noise to make it more visible. So this is the result. Very nice. And okay, now I can show you how to add another area. So take area blueprint and create at least 4 points. Again, result isn't visible right now. You need to refresh debug checkbox. So go to graph again and debug and undebug and debug it again. So this is the final result. It works, and so thank you for watching and goodbye.